'cause we're gonna be legends.
Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about comfort foods, those go-to foods that we have an emotional connection to. So here's a quick illustration of what I'm talking about, right? So way back when McDonald's first started, it wasn't nearly as processed, it wasn't nearly as bad for us, but it was exciting. It was a great place for people to go, and in between high school and whatever, like sport activities, they would hang out, get a milkshake, get fries, get a hamburger. Many people had really good memories at these locations. Maybe it was, the first date, or they used to hang out with their friends right before football practice. But over the time, this food, especially as the restaurant started to expand, became more and more processed. They needed to improve their shelf life. And, a bunch of additives started to go into these foods that made it much more unhealthier and higher in trans fat. These people, when they entered into the workforce and they became, higher stress, lower energy, and they just needed a quick pick-me-up, what foods do they go to? They go to the foods that make them feel the happiest. They go to the foods that they have the most amount of emotional connection to, and they think back like, man, we really had a good time with Sally. Like, she was a really good girl. And the boys really used to have great conversations right before football practice. We used to really get hyped up before we went into the games. So they go back to those food choices, but nowadays the food is way more unhealthy than it was then, and their metabolisms are way slower than it was back then. So it becomes a kind of vicious cycle of like emotional connections to fast foods that are now much more processed and much worse for you. And all I want you to do today, you don't need to drop anything, but just become more aware of those foods that you're emotionally connected to. Comment below, what is your go-to comfort food, and how are you going to switch this around? Thank you guys.